Growth therapy. You can gaze into the future.
Oh my God.
The irony, the coincidence.
That's so right.
It's the future I can see.
So mysterious to
Me, yeah. Yep, that's me.
I never watched the reboot. Was it good?
Why did you assume that I watched the reboot? I haven't seen it. I've watched a reboot.
I didn't. I was just asking.
I wonder if it is good. I don't know.
Kidding.
Is it still on?
I think it's on like Disney Plus. I have to check.
But I do love Raven, a queer queen.
Yeah. I think they let her be a little gay in the
No, I think I saw an interview where they're like, "Oh, should we make Raven gay?" And she was just like, "No. Like, why should we force it? Like, she
True.
really wasn't gay."
Oh, you're right. You're
No.
right.
She was like,
And actually, I can respect that because it sounds like if the producers were asking, because those motherfucking snakes, they probably just wanted to profiteer on like her identity.
"Yeah,
She was like, no, my life is my life.
exactly."
And Raven is Raven.
Yeah,
So-
Raven was always like boy crazy,
True.
So it's just like,
Very true. I respect that.
Yeah, like, and why force the wokeness?
Right.
Right. Let it organically happen.
Yes.
Anyways, let's do an intro. Hi, guys. Why did I do that? Hi, guys. It's me, Stefanie Maegan, your
No,
host.
I
of
like
Broco
that.
Therapy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. It's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broco Therapy. And we have H to the motherfucking K, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love when you're on. Every time I record with you, I'm just like, it's just like relaxed, Like, I don't feel like I have to like,
I'm your therapist.
yeah. No, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just so fucking funny, is what it is.
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
I know that you love here. I'm gonna be your therapist right now. I know, like, you tend to overthink. Like, I know you, like, I feel like on air.
I am a walking overthought.
Overthought, literally. And, like, on the show, I feel like they don't really get to see that part of you. It's like when we're off airs, when I just see your mind just like travel to like unnecessary like worlds.
Oh my God.
And I'm
yes.
like, no, like come, it's okay. And I think that like, I always try to show, like, I'm like, look, like, because when you're on the show, you're really in the moment. And I like love that. So every time you go like off into space, I'm like, but like, you do so well on the spot. I'm like, if anything, that's like what your charm is like,
Yeah.
you're so good on the fly.
Oh, thank you.
Like-
I'm glad I can deliver. Because clearly in IRL, I'm like, you know me, I'm crazy.
You're like analyzing
Yeah.
everything. And
But
it's not
that's called
crazy. It's just
performance.
It's called disassociating.
It's called Give Me My Webby.
Right? Like when I was doing the photo shoot the other day, like I was obviously just posing, whatever. Like I don't know if it's good. You just get into character.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, Steph, I just never seen you in this, and like posing like this. I'm like, well, you have to disassociate when you like are making art.
Yes.
When you're modeling, I mean, I was like modeling anything. It's just for vocal therapy. If,
Yeah.
if you're on the show, whatever. It's like sometimes it's like you have to kind of like
You gotta get out of your head.
You have to get out of your head.
Delusions.
Be delusional.
Yes. I'm all about that. New Year's delusions.
Yes. I love that. Well, let's get into the favorite thing in this world. Emails and chisme. I need like a name of the segment because I just saw like let's read
okay.
emails.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's all. But like, what should I name the segment of us reading emails? Chisme time.
I think we
No.
should call it something therapy because that is literally like the therapy part of it.
Vocal therapy.
Like, I mean, not that we're offering therapy, but like I think it's therapeutic that people write and express themselves. you
And it's
know?
also therapeutic for us to talk about it too.
Oh,
Like I
true. Very
like
true.
I find it kind of therapeutic to like.
I love to project and talk shit.
Yeah, I love to project and talk. Honestly, is that fucked up?
No, it's
Should I
not.
dive into why?
I'm
Why
being
is it like
1,000% honest.
but it is like we're kind of projecting what we've gone through
For sure.
and like and just talking shit like.
I mean, I hope it helps people, but I also like like you said, we are not fucking professionals.
Yeah, and
So,
honestly, even
like-
professionals fucking suck. Sorry.
Very true. Very
Sometimes
fucking true.
There's some shitty therapists out there.
Yes. Yes.
And like we have to be, just because they're therapists, sometimes,
yes.
so, but it's finding the right therapist. And that's another thing too, is like, I know you kind of want to tap into Susie, like the thing is like with, going to therapy, it doesn't mean the therapist is for you. So it's almost like you have to like date a therapist.
1,000% everyone should know that you do not have to get locked in. And while I do love that therapy is becoming more popular, I think more conversation needs to happen around proper care and therapy.
Yeah.
And how to seek the right therapy for you, because there are also different forms of therapies that don't involve a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst. All these people have different roles and different incentives. Some of them are focused on medication more. Some of them are focused on behavioral tactics and psychology or cognitive behaviors. So once you find out what you need and what's more beneficial to you, then that'll help you on your journey. But please understand, like, it takes some time to learn these methodologies, and sometimes people are just in it for a buck, and that's so fucked up to say.
Yep.
But it's there's ongoing scandals of like really horrible people who try to give therapy, and it ends up making people's lives worse. So
Yeah.
be careful, but also a therapist isn't the only form of therapy. Like, you can get joy and release and peace of mind from taking up a new hobby or doing something you love, creating.
Yeah. Or just even like, depending on the situation, sometimes even just
Fucking.
talking to friends. Pegging. You say
I said
pegging?
fucking.
And fucking. Sex.
Sex
You know
therapy.
what? I mean, according to Dr. Stephanie, who's
You?
has a doctorate, not me. But yeah, I wish. Who obviously has a PhD in like sexual, health and all that stuff. And she was saying that like, and we mentioned on the show before, but I know you don't watch the show. I love you, but I know you don't. But it's okay. I wouldn't think you would watch anyway.
I'm the talent.
I'm the talent. I'm not the audience. I'm the talent.
I
But,
just show
like-
up to call time.
But like the listeners know what I'm about to say. But I was like, but I don't really want to say this. I'm just gonna have to repeat myself. So sorry.
Well, the new listeners, because
The
you're
new
getting
listeners, yeah.
new ones all the time.
Like you could find healing through sex. Like
Oh, I
sex
do.
could be very healing in a lot of ways, and people don't know how to do that, or like they're just carrying a lot of
Yes.
shame. So
There's
yeah.
a song, Sexual Healing.
There you go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Get up, get up, get up, get up. That's old school.
Yeah,
That's
that
old
is.
school shit.
Now I just want to 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. Yeah. What?
I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me. I love that we can do R&B interludes.
I
'cause
know.
My life is an R&B interlude.
Always. I pulled up. Okay, anyways. Let's
I pulled out. No, I didn't.
At least you can't get them pregnant.
True. I try so hard. Just doesn't happen.
It just doesn't happen.
It just turns to shit.
Do you ever just like
Literally.
ew, truffle butter? Shit.
Just made this episode so gay.
Yeah. I mean, every time you're on, it's fucking
Right,
gay.
right,
It's
right,
never
right.
like
Right.
it's never any straight content because I don't ever talk to you about my sex life. If you like, I feel like that never happens. It's you talking to me, but I don't talk to you.
Yeah, or
But
we
that's
just
okay.
related back to gay. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
just so gay, and I love
so
it.
gay. Yes.
Anyways, let's read emails and just cheese man talk shit. Okay. This episode of Broco Therapy is brought to you by Zocdoc. So there's been moments where I'm like, something is wrong with my health, but is it bad enough to like go to the doctor, or can I just like wait this out? Like, what should I do? So you text your friends for advice, or you just start Googling away and you just think you have cancer just because like you have this horrible headache, you know, like you're overdiagnosing yourself. And sometimes I just like don't want to go to the doctor, you know, like I want to skip that and just ask my friends because I feel more comfortable asking them. But at the end of the day, they're not healthcare professionals, and we shouldn't be Googling our symptoms. Well, that's why Zocdoc is gonna be your best friend, because thousands of medical professionals on Zocdoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend and give you the expert care you need. One thing that annoys me more than life is booking your own doctor appointments, because you have to like find a doctor. You have to see if they take your insurance. You have to see if they're even a great doctor. There's so much that goes into it, and it's really irritating as an adult. While millions of people use Zocdoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right. Go to Zocdoc.com/brokegirl and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's Zocdoc.com/brokegirl. Zocdoc.com/brokegirl. And all the links are down in the description. Okay, this one says, dating older men ain't always so great. Ooh. Let's find out why. Hi, Stephanie. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Love you and everyone else on the pod. So jump right into it. I've been dating the same guy for 3 years, and he's 10 years older than me. Our relationship has been tumultuous with so many ups and downs, especially.
Did you watch the episode when we had Nathan on?
Tumultuum.
Wait, sorry. Did she
I
give,
love
did she give
tumultuum.
her age?
Not yet.
Okay,
No.
we'll find out.
I don't know if we'll find out. We'll see.
She's like, I'm 16. I hope
well,
not.
she's over 18.
Okay, thank God.
Okay. Our relationship has been tumultuous with many ups and downs, especially with the recent discovery that he was receiving nudes one night, as far as I know, with a girl. I generally never saw him as a cheater. Even now, I found myself forgiving him. He's older and he's struggling with the insecurities with his body and his unemployment. I'm not saying this is an excuse, because I know I wouldn't do that even with my own stuff going on. Anyway, 4 months has passed, and now I feel like we're settling. I just found out he watches porn every day and jacks off yet in these 4 months. We've only had sex once, which is bothersome because I voiced my concern, and it's starting to affect my self-esteem. Sorry, excuse me. ... Like 4 months ago, he was willing to sext a stranger, but I can barely get any action. She's like 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was willing to sex a stranger, but I can barely get any action. I'm feeling like it's time to let the relationship go, but it's so hard because I genuinely care for him as a person, but I am too young to feel old in a relationship. Help your girl out. I hope this makes sense, by the way. She's a Pisces, and she didn't let us know where she lives.
Okay, well.
Why are we getting a lot of like porn?
This is a really, really good one. So
yeah.
Thank you for sending this in.
Thank you.
And I hope you're doing well. But I also think that like, while this is a great topic and we're definitely gonna get into it, to me, maybe this is just my perspective now after what I've been through, this can definitely be simplified. And to start, you're just dating a shitty man.
Yeah.
The age is just disregard, because even with the title, I was like kind of hooked because like I'm getting into like my late mid 30s, and I'm excited to date older men because I tend to date younger men.
Well, because you were just trying to have a good time.
Yeah. And
they
just flocked to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then now talking to men more my age and older, it's actually really fucking refreshing, because opposite of what you're experiencing, they're really fucking great. But that's just showing, or what that's proving to me in this moment is that shitty men are at any age.
Any age.
Age does not discern any type of like experience or growth or maturity. He clearly does have the problems you listed and probably even more. You're not his therapist. That's not your job. He has a responsibility as a grown ass man, regardless of how much older he is than you, to at least respect your time and your relationship, which he's not doing. And I hope that you can be more honest with yourself and realize that you deserve better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so one time I was 24. I dated a 34-year-old.
Mm.
And I was like, I thought it was so cool dating like a guy who's older. And maybe this is not every relationship, because of course there's always like there's always those people that are like, well, we're doing great. Okay, you're the exception. But most of the time, I feel like when a guy goes for a younger woman, specifically 10 years younger or more, there has to be something wrong.
Or
Because
missing. I agree.
or because obviously, she's saying like, oh, he, his unemployment, he's feeling very lost, insecure. A woman his age would not deal with that.
Correct.
So that's why he felt comfortable to go for someone younger.
I'm assuming that's
who's
what she
a
is.
little bit more vulnerable and less experienced.
I'm assuming that she's in her 20s and he's in his 30s. It's what it sounded like.
assuming
Because the thing
too.
is, 30s is also still young and it's also still full of a lot of fucking trials.
Yeah.
So, yes, he's clearly going through it and he doesn't have the capacity right now.
And they're
going to
tell you
handle a
you're so
relationship.
mature for your age.
Mm.
And that's a red flag.
Yeah, red
I'm going to let you know.
Red flag. You deserve a man who can offer you more. And right now, his capacity, he needs to prioritize better. And right now, I just don't think he has the capacity to handle a relationship, at least not one with you, because you're worth more. So whatever he's going through, while those are valid reasons, like it's also, again, we only have so much detail to go off of, but if I were to like completely just judge him off of what you just told me, I'd be like, yeah, you need to grow the fuck up and get your priorities straight. You're out here jacking off every day, and I love to jack off every day.
Yeah,
but my shit is still
fair.
together.
Right.
I'm still meeting my priorities and getting my shit together and not dragging a partner through the mud. Like I would not want to do that because that's immature, it's inconsiderate, it's disrespectful. And so, realize that for yourself, that the longer you allow him to do this to you is now disrespectful to you.
Yes. And yeah, like, I mean, so kind of similar experiences. I don't think he was like sexting other girls, but I dated someone who was 10 years older.
I forgot that part. That was the other shit too. He's the message.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
last-
Like he seems codependent.
Strike 3
He
for me.
seems like he's looking for validation from other people. But I was
Messaging other bitches.
Yeah.
Go have that other
Go.
bitch.
Go have the other bitch.
I'm not an option.
Yes.
No.
So yeah, leave your man.
Yeah.
But anyways, we already know. Leave him. That's in conclusion. It's done. Right now.
Okay.
That was really bad.
No, you said I'm a riff.
That was not a riff. That was a flat. there was nothing there. What was I saying? Yeah, so I dated someone 10 years older, and kind of the same thing. Like I was 24, he was 34, and he was really going through like trying to figure out his life. Like I don't think he was really happy with his job, where he lived, and I remember him always saying like, I just want to like, own houses and like fix houses up, and like, he lived in like a studio apartment with like a mattress on the bed, and I don't know why I thought it was like so cool that he did, because again, young.
Yeah.
But like he was older and was like, no, I want to own land, I want to own property. But he was like sad that he wasn't there, like there was a lot of things that he wanted to change in his life. And it was really like hard to see, because it was like I was trying to help him, but it was impossible, because obviously this is just a battle within himself.
Yeah.
But anyways, obviously didn't work. We broke up. But now, I mean, we still follow each other. But now like he owns property and like fix ups houses and stuff like that. Like he's doing the things that he wants to do.
Okay.
So, but we're obviously not compatible at all. Like I've outgrown him. But
did that come up and happen? Well, clearly after you, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
When he was single.
Yes.
And that's the thing. men who are like this need to focus on their shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just focus on themselves. And there's nothing wrong with feeling lost and feeling like you're not good enough or whatever. Like, we've all been there. But that is all of our individual journeys. It's not your responsibility to like help him out there, especially if he's like treating you like shit.
Right.
It'd be different if he was like so good to you and like whatever, like you just struggle together and figure shit out. But like, he's clearly not loyal. He's lying. He's deceitful.
Checked out.
He's checked out. So,
and I think this is a
get out of
common
that.
thread.
Get out of that.
Yeah, it's not just you. It seems like there's a common thread, even from the last episode. Like, people who have a tolerance for low performance partners,
Ooh.
I feel like it's an
Before.
epidemic. And partly because, there's the people pleasers. PP pleaser. I am a PP pleaser too. The PP pleaser. But people pleasers, that's how I think about when I had my shitty ex. You assume that like, oh, I want to like be like Captain Save-A-Ho and I'm gonna fix him up and be his savior and that's real love and he'll appreciate me. No, he's never gonna appreciate you. He's just tapped into a resource.
Right.
And the more you give, there's not gonna be any type of return. And then it's just an imbalanced, codependent, trash, toxic relationship. So this needs to be addressed in the community and by empowering each other and helping each other find the clarity that we're worth more.
Yes.
And that there is a bare minimum. And if it's not being met, you have every right and you should honor and respect yourself to step the fuck away from someone who's not meeting the bare minimum of respect and love and maturity for you.
And he's not even giving it to his goddamn self. So what makes you think he's gonna give it to you?
Right.
So leave him.
Yes.
You already know the answer.
You know the answer.
We're just here to confirm. We're like,
Good
it was a
luck.
sign. Brocal therapy said I should leave him.
Yeah.
So leave him.
Yes.
Okay.
And shit men are at any age.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just because he's older doesn't mean like, oh my God, like he's like prepared. Like,
no, it's a facade.
Don't look at just the age. Look at like his life and his decisions.
And that's
his
not
friends, his relationships with people. Like, that's what's gonna tell you when he's ready to be a loyal, a good person. You know.
I don't want it to be a judgmental thing either, because yes, people can have thriving relationships with any age disparity, because when they have their shit together and they don't care about age, then they will have a great relationship. But for relationships like this, when it's a partner trying to take advantage of another partner for whether it's emotional support or financial support, whatever, yes, age will become a red flag, because why is this man 10 years your senior, doesn't have his shit together and go putting you through all this shit.
Right.
Like, then yes, that is indication that he is not up to par with what he's got going on.
Yeah. So leave him, sis.
Right.
Do you want to read this next one?
Sure.
This is kind of this is an old email. This is from April 2022. So I hope you're still here. but like, we're still
almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago. But like, I feel
from
like
the archives.
This is from the archives.
Yes.
But even if she's not in a situation, maybe someone else is probably in this situation. So it's called relationship timeline help.
Okay. All right. Relationship timeline help. Hey, Steph. I stumbled across the pod about a month ago and have been obsessed ever since. I'm dealing with a situation right now, and I would love an outsider perspective. If it's okay with you, I'd like to stay anonymous.
Of course.
Her name is... No, I'm just kidding. I got you, girl. Some backstory about me. She, her. We love an inclusive language.
We love it.
I'm 22 years old.
Now 23.
Baby.
Now 23.
And now 23. Oh, yeah, hopefully. And currently... You said they're hopefully still with us.
I just meant like as a listener.
Darkness.
Morbid.
Darkness here. I'm
I
22
just
years
had a prayer
old.
for you, girl.
and
So we hope you're good.
currently finishing 4th year of my undergraduate degree in kinesiology. So we hope happy grad. My ultimate goal is to do a master's in occupational therapy, additional 2 years, but the pandemic has delayed my plans by a year. I met my current boyfriend, male, 25, my first serious relationship in the middle of the pandemic, and we have been dating for about a year and a half. We have had our fair share of challenges, trust issues incurred from his past relationships have led to controlling tendencies, troubles navigating schedules as we live an hour apart, issues around the frequency I see my friends, and finally, our differing views of how to handle pandemic life. Him being more prudent, careful than I feel is necessary. However, we got a fairly good place. We got to a fairly good place and have been happy for the most part. Okay, just want to take a pause. 'Cause
Okay,
it's a
what just
long one.
happened?
Yeah, so I feel like all the things she's listed, it sounds like a lot of problems. Baby, this is normal shit. Relationships and just life in general is full of problems. It's just you guys are. It's growing pains of getting to know somebody and dating. So this is fine. These aren't like make or break problems. It's just normal shit.
Yeah.
And I only had that reaction because I thought when she said differing views of how to handle the pandemic, I thought they were gonna talk about like like casual things, but no, she meant like I think like masking. Are you an
Yeah.
anti-masker? I know she didn't get her booster. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
I remember during the live show, you were like mentioning.
It was
like,
so
"I'm
awkward,
sad."
and I had no material. I was like,
No, but
Oh
you
my
were
God.
like, "Oh, I got my booster." And I'm
no.
like,
I said booster baddies,
"Booster?"
crickets, chirp, chirp. I was
But
like,
you're
oh my
you're glad that you
God.
have Rick Rose up there, who's also a booster baddie. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like you guys
we
are
were
both.
the only ones. Beacons of the community. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, and I'm also not judging you. This is just all for
It's
fun.
just funny.
Ha, ha, ha.
It's just funny.
Okay.
It's just like 2020 jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's just 2020. It doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, so here we go. He finished school last summer and has been working in the security field ever since. His goal is to become a police officer so he can start saving for a down payment and start his life. She put start his life in quotes. Do you not believe in him? We both currently live with our parents as neither of us can afford to move out. I just realized I'm such a fucking cunt. But it's not going to change, so you got to take it as it is.
I think that's why they like advice from you.
Okay, good.
Because like you keep it real.
Okay.
You keep it real and controversial. Like
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I'm also just going off of what you gave me.
Right,
You're like,
right.
why did you put start his life in quotes?
Yeah.
That's kind of rude of you, but no, just kidding. The main problem we are running into is that we have different timelines and expectations for each other. Again, normal. From the beginning of our relationship, I told him that I want to finish my bachelor's degree, take a year off, save up, and then do my master's degree. Brief backstory, school hasn't always been a priority for me. When I was 15, I lost my father to a 4 battle with cancer, which resulted in a self-destructive spiral. I turned to alcohol, drugs, and partying to numb the pain of losing my best friend. It took a pretty traumatic
Hard.
situation. Yes, so sorry for your loss. It took a pretty traumatic situation.
can't be a cunt anymore, bitch.
I mean, I said sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Continue.
I'm about to get hate mail.
Oh my
It took a
God.
pretty traumatic situation to snap me out of it and get back on the right path. With the support of my family and friends, I hit the books and was able to graduate with honors.
Okay, yeah.
I love a scholastic, bitch.
Love
And
that.
got a
Respect.
scholarship to my current university, period. My dad always stressed the importance of education, which is why I feel it is crucial that I finish my schooling. Absolutely. My boyfriend has always been supportive of this, and he initially told me that he wanted to apply to a police force in Ontario, our home province, and put down
So Canadian,
roots. Oh.
right?
Yeah, because I literally thought Ontario, the fucking city.
I know.
over them.
San Bernardino.
I was like, a
That is
province.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I will pause again because I just want to say, from me to you, girl, I am rooting for you, and I love that you turned, your trauma into something super productive, and you are
That's a queen
amazing.
right
That's
there. That's a
amazing.
queen
Yes,
right
queen,
there.
queen, queen, queen.
Respect.
Yeah. Um. However, plans have changed, and now he wants to move out east and apply to a police force there. Unfortunately, the province that he wants to move to, PEI, I don't know what PEI is. Pay,
Okay.
not Taipei, but does not offer my master's program. Oh, so she was considering moving with him. Okay. Essentially, he wants me to put a hold on pursuing my dream career, red flag, to follow him to Eastern Canada so he can pursue his dream and live closer to his dad, who is rebuilding a relation, who he's rebuilding a relationship with. It's kind of a trigger. He explains that once he is established, he'll be able to transfer elsewhere so that I can do my master's. Did I read that right? He explains that once he is established. Yeah.
So he wants to be established first, and is saying, can she just put a
Yeah.
pause
And
on
then
her
yeah.
life?
I
And is she
fear,
okay with that?
right. And then,
Because it's a different thing if she's like, actually, yeah, that plan is better. But is she okay with that?
right. I fear, well, she's writing to us, so clearly not.
Right.
I fear that he won't want to leave and I'll have lost the opportunity to finish my schooling on my
Right.
terms. He told me it's selfish to put my education before our relationship.
What?
Well, it is, but it's also correct. It's the correct form of selfishness.
Yeah, I was like, there's nothing negative
Right.
about wanting to pick your. Okay.
Yeah, because I am younger than him and can go back. Y'all 3 years apart. Y'all the same age, and can go back to it at a later time. No, that's him projecting his life
No.
bullshit on you.
No.
I worry that putting off my master's and leaving my family and friends will result in resentment. It already has. But I also feel like him staying here until I finish my school will end in him resenting me. Who cares?
Okay.
We are divided and can't seem to come to a compromise. I don't want to put off my schooling and he wants to start his career. Do I cut my losses and end the relationship? Am I being selfish by being unwilling to compromise? Is he being selfish by insisting on moving in order to start his career? When, let's be real, there are police departments everywhere. Oop.
Yeah.
You better throw your man shade. What should I do? I appreciate any advice you have for me. Once again, I love the pod, and I'm so glad the YouTube algorithm finally came through. Okay.
Okay, YouTube algorithm.
I love you and your friends. Special shout out to my fave Rose.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding.
HK?
Just kidding. I don't need to be a favorite. Keep doing what you're doing because it makes a difference. Okay. Well,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. I don't think this is anything out of the ordinary. I think you're on the right path. Yes, it is selfish, but the proper form of selfish. You need to be this selfish because you are so young. And relationships, I think when you're in your 20s, you're still learning about relationships. And the relationships you make in your 20s are supposed to go through trials. But what's also supposed to happen is you prioritize your personal growth.
I'm going to say you're two individuals with your lives, selfish lives, that come together. And yes, compromise is important. But I think if it's something that, like, for instance, like your dream to go to school, like, you shouldn't compromise yourself for him.
No.
Like, for another person, you know? So
individual development first. I wish someone told me that shit when I was in my 20s because I made my 20s about people that are no longer in my fucking life.
Yes,
and I did learn
pleasing everybody.
Yeah.
Like, now they're gone.
I did learn a lot, but I wish so much that I spent the majority of my 20s single and developing and honing my skills and my craft. Because I would have been so much deeper in those crafts. I'm still fine with where I'm at right now, but I look at that time and I'd be like, why the fuck did I care so much about fucking dating, bro? Like,
Mm.
and that's the thing too. My perspective, this is just my perspective, but my perspective on partnerships and relationships have completely flipped from what the societal norm and what pop culture tells you. I don't give a fuck about falling in love in my 20s anymore. Well, I'm not there anymore, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or I don't give a fuck about falling in love in that capacity and with that kind of ideology of like,
Yeah.
oh, meeting and then we date and then our stars align and our lives align. No, of course your lives are gonna fucking align because you're both so young and you're supposed to develop the rest of your life right now. So while it may be sad to say like cut your losses, you're not cutting any loss. You
Nope.
are gaining the
Yep.
rest of your life, both of you. If he wants to pursue being a police officer, and now I kind of get it why she did the quotes and everything.
Yeah.
You clearly don't believe. Not that you don't believe in him, but you don't believe that you can align. Like you don't care that he wants to pursue being a police officer. You respect him for wanting to pursue something, but clearly you care more about what you want to do, and as you fucking should,
As you fucking should. It's
as you
okay to be
should, bro. Like
selfish.
this is where you need to be is developing the rest of your life. And if you can, like, I don't know if you guys would consider long distance. That's a test that you guys would need to go through.
Yeah.
But if your love is that strong, oh my gosh, do that.
I think a good testament to someone, to your like love and commitment and loyalty is through long distance, honestly, because I mean I'm grateful that like me and Brian started off as like long distance because it really tested the communication, the trust, and like actually make seeing the effort that both of us were putting into like seeing each other.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. Like, just do what the fuck you want to do, and also let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and then try it out separately and see, like, okay, can we make this work? And if it's just too hard, then I think that like no one will regret choosing themselves first.
Yeah.
And so, and if you are meant to be together in the future, it will happen because I think that like again, it like working on yourself first and pursuing stuff that you want to do, like that's so important to you. It should be number one before anything else.
Period.
And like just because that's the path that you're choosing. And so whoever's meant to be on that path will. And you can't force someone to change their path for you or to whatever. If like it's just not realistic. I just
Mm.
think that like you won't regret choosing you at the end of the
A
day. You
million
really won't. It'll hurt.
%.
It'll hurt for like a minute. You might regret it, like
Yeah.
a couple nights or something when you're feeling lonely. But like ultimately, like you won't regret it.
The long run,
Like-
it'll pay off.
Like with Morgan, when he cheated on me, we had a conversation. This is obviously before Brian. Like, because the thing is like he wanted like to have like 10 kids and live in Alabama, and like I want broker therapy. I want my
Jesus.
life to like not look like that. I don't want 10 kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to be a mom. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't want 10 kids in Alabama. But I like loved him so much.
Who
that I
would
was like,
want 10 kids? Fuck them kids. I'm just kidding.
team fuck them kids. Jeez. Anyways. Before we piss people more piss. Yeah. Anyways. So, and I was willing to like try to compromise and see where we could go, but like at the same time, it's like he found someone and he cheated on me. He found someone who was like could give him. I mean, she got 2 kids, so she was ahead. She could give him them 10 kids and shit, and like would literally go and like live in Alabama with him, and like as much as it hurt. I was like, no, but like I love broker therapy, and I know I need to be in LA, and I know I need like my heart is saying to go here, and like I'm gonna continue to do that, and like honestly, no fucking regrets because I found someone who like is a fan of the show, who wants to see me grow, and it doesn't think it's a bad selfish. I mean, he thinks it's a selfish thing to choose broker therapy, but he respects it. He's like because he believes in me, he believes in the show, and so. Like, and I'm so glad that I chose this over having 10 kids in Alabama.
I just realized that Y'all are the prime example of like what it should be when alignment happens
Mhm.
and it's a healthy partnership, because you should not have to sacrifice your individual progress
Mhm.
for your partner. And so it's already toxic that he brought up whatever argument or tiff you guys had about like, oh, I should do this and you should hold on, blah 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 blah. And then clearly you're bitter about it. So like, yeah, like it doesn't say that it can't be worked out, it can't be resolved, but clearly there's no way that for you guys to be together in the physical space and still being happy, because yeah, it absolutely, I think you know the answer. Of course it's going to result in resentment because you already resent each other for choosing yourselves first.
Mhm.
But know that that's not the wrong answer. Like that's the right thing you guys should be doing. I think you both know that, but that maybe at this time your relationship needs to be on the back burner because you both want better for yourselves, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's like an okay form of misalignment. But
Mhm.
what's really aligning is the rest of your motherfucking life.
Exactly.
So do you, both of you, do you.
For real. And no one's in the wrong just for like choosing
Right.
themselves at the end of the
Right.
day.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, want to
Yeah.
do more?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's called.
And let us know. I know it's a year later,
I
so like, you know,
like, did you choose yourself or did you go like
like, are you hating your life in pay?
right?
Or PAPI? What the fuck is
Whatever.
PEI?
I don't even
know.
Are you okay? Are you still here? Or do you still listen to the show?
You still-
Sorry. I hope she is.
We hope you out here, girl.
I hope you out here.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is called Reddit Girls.
I don't know anything about. I don't
I don't
really
really go
know.
on Reddit either.
Do I have time to go pee pee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go pee. Do I have time to go pee pee? That's like not even alcohol too. That's how much I was drinking.
It was like one of those long pees where you just like,
You're like,
it
wow.
just keeps going. You're just like,
Yeah.
okay, when is it gonna stop?
So much piss.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready for Reddit?
Yes. What
Girls?
is it called? Reddit
Girls. I don't ever go on Reddit. Do you?
I only like ever. It's like if I need something answered and I Google a question, like Reddit threads will come up. But then I can't really access all of it because I don't have like a Reddit account.
Yeah.
And like just the format doesn't look appealing to me. Like I like visuals. I like
Right.
Instagram. I like
It's too much
TikTok.
reading.
So I'm just like, what is? But like nerdy dudes love that shit.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. Hey, Steph with one F, but it's
Oh,
okay.
sorry, pause. I also want to mention I do know that there is like there are pockets of like sexual content or like sex.
Oh yeah, the
communities
twins are like on Reddit.
Reddit.
Like they're like
I don't know
they
how
are
that
the
works.
Reddit girls.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so it's like kind of like Tumblr when Tumblr used to have like sex content.
Maybe
Maybe.
you should
Anyway,
get on Reddit. Maybe
continue.
you should start a community there.
Oh, I'm gonna get it on Reddit.
Right, get it. I'm gonna get it on Reddit. Is that the name of the song and the episode?
Oh, get it on Reddit. Yes,
Get it on Reddit. Hey, Steph with one F, but that's okay. I forgive you. I'm like repeating what I said earlier. So for starters, I love your podcast so much. Always makes me feel better when I'm down. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. But anyways, okay, so me and my man have been together for 4 years already. But recently I found out he liked to jerk off to girls on Reddit. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's the epidemic. It's the
What's
epidemic.
going on
It's
right
the
now?
Epidemic.
Y'all are really going through with this. Yeah, like very
It's
disturbed.
okay. It's a normal insecurity, but we
It's
just need to
normal.
flip the conversation. Like it's normal for people to watch porn and jack off as long as you have a mutual understanding.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll go. Keep going.
Okay. He has a whole ass account where he's joined to multiple accounts of just girls showing their assholes and pussy. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's like a Tumblr thread type of thing,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
a Tumblr feed.
Now, I don't know if I should be bothered by it or not. Now, girl, tell me, would that be like a kink or a fetish? And should I be bothered by it or not? Oh, also, we no longer fuck. And if he needs to come, you'll have me lick his balls while he looks at his phone to jack off.
Well,
Whoa.
first of all, you're hot because I love getting my
Yeah.
balls licked. So you're really great.
Yeah. And y'all love the balls, like
Yeah.
mouth. on squeeze.
It's got to be the right way.
Yeah.
but,
How do you lick the balls the right way?
Well, because some guys
Just pretend.
get really like, and I'm just like, no, don't gnaw on it. It's not a fucking chew toy.
There's like
I don't like it rough. Some people think you like it rough, and I'm like, no. But I like the caressing and like the lightly like. You can zoom in for that.
do it on the
But,
side.
okay.
That microphone has been fucked with.
Oh my god. I need to do a COVID test. I need to do a whole, actually, just a new panel of all the tests. I might be pregnant. But yeah, love the balls because the balls. It's a sensitive. The scrotal sac is a sensitive patch of skin, and then so is the gooch.
Oh,
Bonus points if you go down to the anus. Like it's all right there. I said that in what old ass episode.
so,
It's just along the line.
Okay.
Yeah, but continue.
My ADHD kicked in.
No, it's fine. I was like, she doesn't want to talk about this anymore. She's over the balls, you guys.
My mind just jumped to the next thing.
Reddit, forget it.
But I mean, did you finish what you were saying?
I had no more. I could have gone.
I don't want people to be pissed if I cut you off at a time where they were like, wait, they were waiting for like the next line.
I can do scrotal massage lessons later.
Okay. No, do it now. They want to know now, and I just fucked it up for everybody. So just do it now.
Oh, it's too much pressure now. No, I had to relate it to this girl. So
I have a stress ball in my purse. do you want to do an example?
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna get it.
We'll make it a segment later. I want to be more prepared.
But let me just get it.
But also,
I'm
this
stressed.
literally was just to shout out the girl. I'm just glad she's a ball licker.
Oh my god. I got one ball.
Okay.
Shout out to Beauty by Indy.
Oh, is it a beauty blender?
No.
Oh.
But I do have a ton of those too. Should I get that?
No.
Okay, anyways.
Oh, shit.
So how do you...
Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. So...
I'd be making you do too much. Do you not want to do it? Consent is...
No,
consent. It's like...
fine. I just don't want to veer too off of the story, but, you know,
got time.
I assume this is... Yeah. So... For me, it's more just like a warm up. This is part of like the foreplay. I don't like to go straight to the dick. Oh my god, this is really happening.
Yeah.
So
You've done more.
Yeah.
You've done
but
worse.
usually that's like the intent of the episode.
Yeah.
It's your whole intermission. But yeah, so like it's usually when I'm going down on my man's, that I tease him by like that I'm gonna start sucking his dick, but then I don't, and then I go straight to the balls, and then they like usually like they love that shit.
Yeah.
And like I'm just hearing out for like the moans, but usually once you hit the sack, that's when they're just like, you know. And I mean, because I also be the same way, but I just start gentle, which are like light tapping and licking, and I suggest you start with that first, like seeing what it is, go slow, because if you go too fast, people just start sucking on them, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like it's not
But
not
what if
like
you get
hard
hair
candy.
in your mouth?
It's also well, yeah,
That's
it depends on
that's
your
a-
partner.
Yeah.
It may not be appealing for you
Because
to do all that.
there might be hair.
Yeah.
You gotta be okay with it or not.
Yeah. So then you can kind of just like do a quickie and then move on to something else.
Okay.
How
How hard do you squeeze the balls?
Don't. I don't like that. It actually is painful for
My boyfriend
me.
likes when I kind of
Okay.
squeeze it.
Well, that's the thing. There are people that like fucking like mutilate my shit. I'm like, okay. But like for me, mine are really sensitive to any type of pressure.
okay.
And so I don't like it because like my mans will also like just try to take my whole like scrotal sac into his mouth, but then he'll like suck really hard, and I'm just like, oh my god, like for me, it's not that I don't like that, but some people do,
Yeah.
and
I
so
wish I had balls.
I always just am just like, oh, gentle, 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 and then so like so yeah, I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay, fine. We'll get into the rest of the email.
Yes.
Or I mean, that was the rest of the email.
Share your ball sucking tips or your ball licking tips. Where my ball lickers at?
But so like, okay, so she's like, oh, so we no longer fuck, and he needs to, and if he needs to come, so they don't even fuck. But then when he needs to come, so all they're doing is just licking. She's just licking his balls. Like they're not even fucking.
Yeah, she's basically just like a sex toy.
Aww.
So there's no intimacy. That's just what I'm
Yeah,
perceiving.
that's what. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you have every right to feel insecure. I think about the
Was that
Reddit.
the end of it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh,
Short and sweet, like their sex
shit.
life.
Is she just asking for like
She said,
our opinion on the matter?
She's like, now I don't know if I should be so
This is a cry for help.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be bothered by it or not, because now, girl, tell me why that is. She's like, is that a kink or a fetish, or should I be bothered by it or not?
Okay. So
and then she said, also, we don't fuck, but if he needs to come, I'll lick his balls.
okay. So for me, it's the last sentence for me. I
Right,
think like she
right.
went into it thinking like, oh, he's watching porn. Girl, it's not the porn. It's the fact that you guys are lackluster, that there's no connection, there's no intimacy,
Yes.
and that he only literally uses you as another sex toy
yeah.
to help him get off, but he's not even interested in fucking anymore. So I would say address it first, hopefully in like a calm, open conversation, being like, hey, I'm feeling concerned because there's no intimacy in our relationship. Alert him, because I'm pretty sure he's just thinking like, oh yeah, our relationship's fine. Like I can do this, blah, blah, blah. Don't let it go stagnant. Don't let it go dry, because the next thing you know, you're going to find fucking messages from other person. I'm not saying this, is going to happen, but like if you don't tend to your relationship, it's not going to get better, But this is, from what I can just see from what you told us, is an issue of something, or an indication of a deeper issue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there is no intimacy, there is no sexual activity, and it's also your opportunity to decide if you want this or if it's worth it, because you absolutely can find someone that will fuck you. And even if it's not about the sex, someone that's just like wanting that intimacy, someone that's just wanting a full relationship with you. That's my take.
Yeah. I think that like at first I was like, yeah, no, you shouldn't trip off of like him. Of course, we're all about like pro, whatever porn. Like we're pro that.
Yeah.
We're pro porn.
Pro ball licking.
I mean, yeah. And
like, is he licking you up too, girl? Come on.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
Come
like I
on.
understand when it makes you feel weird that like he's so into that, but like hasn't, you guys haven't been intimate. Like I think that does. I would feel weird too. I feel like your feelings are completely
I'd be
valid.
offended.
Yeah, I'd be offended because I'd be like, okay, like, look, I'm all for you doing this thing with the Reddit, whatever, but like, are you attracted to me? And it's probably not like you're beautiful, I'm sure. Like, and I believe that you are, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just more so like, what is it? I think everyone does have like their kinks and their fetishes of, and we all get off in different ways. Like, I think that there just needs to be a communication of what you both like in bed, and that, like what is he like? Like, what is he into? And like, would he want to explore that with you? And like, I don't know. I just think that there like needs to be like grab some wine, sit down, and just have a really intimate conversation about your intimate life. Like,
That's a
have
really
you ever
good
just really
suggestion.
sat down and just really like had the intention to be like, let's talk about it, and let's be super open, let's be super vulnerable, and like not shame each other or not make the other person feel bad. Like, because at the end of the day, like sex is the most natural thing any of us, like, I mean, that's how we got here. Like two people decided to fuck, So I think as human beings, like, I mean, it's the most natural thing ever. So we shouldn't feel ashamed to talk about it. And I just think there needs to be there's so much to discuss here.
You know what I just realized? and maybe people won't take it from me because I've been single for almost 10 years, but I think not just for this person, kind of everybody that that discussed shared a story today and in the last episode, and honestly anybody. I need y'all to start fucking showing up for your partners and for yourself. I need you to show up to the relationship, because what it's sounding like is you just go with the social norm of I met this person, we fucked, we gel, we this, we that, and then we just started dating. Do not put your relationship on the back burner and just go through the motions. It's gonna be a shit relationship. And when you do that, you're gonna be fucking miserable, but you're gonna wonder why, because you're like, but I'm not alone. Of course, but now you're stuck with a horrible relationship because no one's tended to it. So you need to show up. And I love that you said, have an intimate conversation. Y'all don't know how to do that. I already know, because you're asking these questions, you have these stories. Intimacy goes beyond sex. Intimacy, there are so much more ways to be intimate, and you need to be intimate in non-sexual ways. Have deep conversations, be vulnerable, have deep talks, talk about life, talk about death, talk about your fears, talk about like things that make you sad, things that make you angry. Those are the moments that you really build your relationship with your partner. Learn about your partner, learn about how you both are as a partnership.
Expectations.
Y'all are not doing that work. It's clear. And a lot of it's like because you're young, you don't know how to do this yet. But like,
it's scary. It seems scary.
Yeah,
and I'll give him.
It's not
like,
normal.
It's not normal.
Sorry, it's not normalized. It's not.
Yes, it's scary because I think we want to get into the relationships and we just think like, okay, we love each other, we have good laughs, we whatever, and but like with every single relationship, you just have to communicate. Communicate literally.
Yes.
Everything down to your sex life, and to like your insecurities about porn, your insecurities about them following, like be open about it, and also like leave a space, because a lot of times like even the last episode when homegirl like attacked her man, like of course like like reactions like that is gonna have them have a little bit of a guard up. Like have an open space, an open conversation of no judgment, and just listening to each other, like really listen to each other, and just don't judge each other, and just like and open up. And I think for me, like I think what helped like with my boyfriend is that I was so open, and I was like not trying to judge him on a situation. And so I think it helped him as a man, because I think a lot of times men are so scared of being super vulnerable that he was able to like be super vulnerable and say like the things he's like the most insecure about, like you have to give them that space, like male or female, just whoever your partner is.
Create a safe space for
Create
them.
a safe space.
Yes.
And like, and you'll learn a lot about each other.
I love everything you just said, and I realize that we don't normalize it, whether it's romantic relationships, any interpersonal relationships, friendships. We need to normalize more and discuss more and emphasize healthy communication, because so much of our insecurity will lead us down the path of expectation. You expect the person to know everything about you and mind read. And
they're not.
We only know one psychic. She still got it together. So like it's a skill that has to be practiced. And that isn't just inherent. It has to be learned. So you have to put effort toward this. You have to prioritize how to communicate properly, as well as how to be a good support system and a good communicator for your partner, how to make them feel safe, and how to be open when you may not always want to fucking hear it.
Exactly.
Because I think it's an indication when you're being lied to that you are also being a shitty partner. Yes, your partner may have been the one that cheated and had the thing, but like the fact that they had to hide it means that you weren't doing your part for them to be honest. And it's not all on you. Let me not gaslight. Yes, shitty people, shitty partners are out there. There are shitty liars, shitty cheaters, whatever. But in a healthy relationship with someone who has the capacity to not be a liar or a cheater, you might have unfortunately pushed them to that point if you weren't allowing them to communicate with you.
Yeah. I think it's important to hold yourself accountable when it's needed. So, Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think like it's like all so simple, you know? It's like the most simple like advice to give. Just talk to them. And like, and going back to Homegirl's email, like, you know, he probably, it seemed like he's probably like a super kinky person. And as a person, probably hasn't like fully explored that. And it's really scary. I mean, that's why I'm so glad I have a show that talks about this, because it's not normalized and people are terrified of like their kinks and their own fetishes because of the judgment and the shame that comes with it. So like he's probably like, I'm assuming just based off the information that we have, that like he's definitely exploring that like sexual side and probably doesn't know how to communicate that with you. You know, like maybe, and I'm not saying this is why, maybe that's why they haven't had sex. Maybe he's like too scared to do that. You know, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes like he could still carry shame because he could be super, super kinky. You know, I don't know. That's just an idea. But like, again, talk to them.
It could be
I don't know you, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can give you all our ideas. I was about to
Yeah.
say, like, I think, again, he's just not that into you because he's still allowing you to lick his fucking balls, but he's not concerned about getting you off. So, like, that's just selfish. And clearly has no intent, or is just doing what he can to get away with it. But, like, the answer will come about when you ask the question. So it takes, again, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of courage and confidence. But if you want to take hold of your life and live a better, richer life, you have to initiate for yourself and start the communication.
Yeah.
And I love that you said it could all be so simple, because I just want to quote the magnificent Miss Lauryn Hill.
It all be so simple.
It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard.
But you'd rather make it hard. Yeah, literally. So talk to your partners.
Yeah.
Talk to your man. Talk to your girl. Have that conversation. Because we really like, you just never know. Because you just need to know. You need to know if like there's something that, you know, you guys need to explore together, if you guys are compatible, if there's, it's just like,
it seems like there's this like epidemic. I know I used that word before, but that's what I'm observing, of like passive expectation. Everyone, and it's not just relationships, it's friendships too.
Yeah.
Everyone's so passive. They think they don't have to put in the work. You need to put in work, especially even towards your fucking friends.
yes.
Because your friends will hold it down for you when your man is not around, when your partner's not around. Those are the people you need to pour into and support all the time. And if you're not, you're a shitty fucking friend. But you
was there someone in mind when you said
you need to you need to show up again, like, and not just expect like, oh, because I call this person my friend, like they'll always be around and they're gonna be down for me or whatever. No, you need to pour into the relationship, give them support when they need it, check in on them, make sure they're okay, call them when they're sick, when they're down, or call them when they're non-responsive, you know, like when you think that they're doing okay but you haven't heard from them in a while. Like sometimes people don't know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so like it speaks to how much of a friendship you have, or how much care you give when you just check in on someone when they're not asking for help. And then if you practice that with your friends, that'll bleed into your other relationships with your fucking family. I mean, family dysfunction is like
that's a whole other set of like
monster. But like and then your romantic relationships, like every interpersonal relationship requires effort. And yeah, it's time for you to show up. And the reason why I'm advocating for this is because I feel like y'all will solve so much more of your problems if you just show the fuck up.
Just show up.
Communicate, talk, discuss, be vulnerable, be intimate.
Ask questions before you assume something.
Yes.
You know?
And it's hard. Like it's easier said than done. This is why it's not happening, is because it's difficult.
Yeah.
And it's easier to be passive. It's easier to be expectant. But it's not. That's why the problems can go for so long, and then you end up being like, oh, I don't know this person anymore, or I got cheated on, or they lied to me, or like, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have sometimes just like, I love having the most uncomfortable conversations like with my boyfriend. Like, well, like, I mean, recently we've been just talking about like having an open relationship, and like what that would look like and what does cheating look like, you know? And
y'all, it's your time to get in. Apparently, there's an opening.
I'm not saying we're like
kidding.
we're wide open.
I'm kidding.
You know, but it's like obviously we're just like, okay, but what does that look like if we did? Like where is it draw the line of like what would make you jealous? You know, like what makes any all of us are just so like we get jealous in different ways and we have our own like different boundaries. Like what does that look like? You know, and if you do decide to open the relationship, well, is it, you know, like is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I make out with someone at a bar? Is it okay if do I need to call you right after or right before? Like, it's like just having those like really like kind of like taboo, uncomfortable conversations that really just like, it just opens the door to like so many other things. And we talk about like why we're insecure about something or why this actually like, we do feel very secure about this. And like I think you like learn so much about yourself and your partner.
A million %. And I also,
even if you don't want to open a relationship, but just talking about it, I think sometimes it could be an icebreaker.
I love that you and Brian do that, and I commend both of you individually and as a couple because that's just an indication of how healthy you are.
Yeah.
Because some couples would not even think, or the individual would never think like, we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Or like, even if I bring it up, it's going to cause problems or whatever. It's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much growth or so much like limits that people are placing on themselves or maybe their partner's placing it on them. So the fact that you guys can be so open and you trust each other and you feel that safe with each other.
He asked a girl out on a date.
Oh.
Like the other day. I know. And we were like crafting it together.
Oh my gosh.
She said no because she was like uncomfortable with the idea of like, you know, open the relationship thing. But like, yeah. And we're just like, and we haven't even done anything with anyone else yet. We're just kind of like,
testing the water.
Testing the waters to see like what we don't like and what we do like. And I think it does take an immense amount of trust.
Yeah.
But like we're just learning so much, I think, about even our own relationship.
I love that because it's also doesn't mean you're going to go down that path. You may just like skirt around barely and you'll be like, that's not for us, you know?
Right.
Like it's allowing you to like still live your life and have no regrets and be like, well, we tested things and we tried it out and it didn't work.
Like even if it's just like, even if we didn't do it, just like the thought of it, like of like, oh my God, like, okay, so if you cheat on me, what is that? What does cheating look like to any of us? Porn, jacking off to somebody, or actually going out and fucking somebody, or is it emotional? It's like, I think like no one ever wants to talk about it because they're so scared of it happening. But like, I think it like helps with the anxiety of like dating and a relationship when you talk about it, you know, because people are going to tell you who they are, you know? So anyways. Yeah.
That was good.
That was real good.
Really good.
We're over an hour already.
Oh, shit.
That was quick.
Wow.
You even gave us some ball lessons in between that. Man.
Oh, goodness.
Aww, well, by the time this is out, you in the Bay right now.
Oh, my God.
So we need to do an episode with you in the Bay to really get like an update of Bay Area HK Bay.
Oh, shit. I might be
we'll see,
someone else completely.
Well, no, it'll probably take you time to like settle into. So
yeah, for sure. Anyways, for sure.
Any last words on? Everyone out there is dealing with cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
Their man's jerking off to.
I think we summed that up really well. And I just, again, what I just said, I hope that you all begin to show up for yourselves as well as your partners and your relationships. But don't forget your individual growth as well. Like the other, why do I say caller? Well, like next
the
caller.
Other caller.
But I think a new year, and I know it's cheesy or like cliche to be like new year, new me. It's definitely still me. But I think it's a great time to like surround yourself with new energies, or you can definitely don't be afraid to start new things. And also don't be afraid to fail new things. Like run towards failure, run towards rejection. Like that's a new concept that I never really was taught, but I'm realizing now that like I should do that more.
Like relax and just.
This is just for me. You don't have to do this. You don't have to.
Like, you don't even have to. Myself.
You don't even have to fucking agree. But I'm realizing that I learned the most from my failures and from my rejections, and I I took a chance last week and I told you about it. And I'm not going to say anything
Yeah.
about it right now, but it's working out. So I am just trying to practice that more.
Shoot your shot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, that's
Shoot
all
your
I'm going to
shot.
say.
Yeah.
And I just want to send one last special shout out to my friends in SoCal. This
Aw.
isn't the end. Oh my God, I almost started crying. Gross.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
Sorry, Spice Girls.
I will miss SoCal, and so much of my
Aw.
life was built here. And so much craziness, and I'll miss that. But I'm so excited for my next chapter and to be a better me.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
to growth,
growth.
to new
And I'll be
new era
back.
for HK.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back.
Yes.
So y'all see me around.
Hey, we'll plug it, bitch.
HK brains for now.
For now, well, maybe by the time this is out, it'll be
Maybe there'll be another reveal, but I
Okay.
haven't formulated like what that's gonna be.
okay. What's that gonna be? Okay. And then follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. Love you guys. Stay safe. Love your love and pull and pray.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Bye.
Growth therapy.